Hi, I'm Darren Clarke, professional golfer, lifelong Liverpool fan. This is my team. In goal, I'm going for Ray Clements. He made so many appearances for Liverpool. He was a standout goalkeeper. It was either him or Bruce Grobbelaar, but went for Ray Clements. So I have three at the back. First of which is Alan Hansen. Alan was hard. He didn't mess about. You know, he put his foot in when he had to put his foot in, and he was reliable. Reliable, something that people are searching for in the Premiership quite often these days. 8 league titles, 3 European Cups. His heart's still in Liverpool to this day, still there. It was a massive player for Liverpool. He's a good friend, but as a golfer, he's very good, plays a lot at Hillside, but he's very prone to a little bit of a low left shot, very frequently, of which I remind him. It goes straight left, brilliant, brilliant. Next to him is Edmund Hughes, again a stalwart Liverpool player, made over 600 appearances, first captain to lift the European Cup. Again, always reliable. I was a huge fan of question sport. I was into all sorts of sports growing up, and he was on there all the time. And again, just another iconic Liverpool player. And making up my back three is Jimmy Carragher. No Liverpool side would be without him. He's been a servant of Liverpool Football Club for a long, long time. Made over 700 appearances. Won so many trophies with Liverpool. He led by example at the back. And it was a sad day when he retired from playing. He's now doing punditry, obviously for Sky. I enjoy watching him and Gary Neville on Monday Night Football whenever they have a little bit of a go at each other. It's always fun. So in front of those three, I would have two holding defensive midfielders. First of which being Graham Souness. Probably wouldn't meet a harder man on the football pitch. I think if you did now what he did then, I don't think he'd last too long on the pitch. He'd be off pretty quick, but he was a hard man. And every team, if you look at any real successful team, not only do they need skill, but they need a real hard man in there as well. And Graham Souness was that man. You know, you didn't mess with him. He took them prisoners, and he was strong. He was always strong, and he was always there for the team. Beside Graham Souness, I would have Xabi Alonso. He was quality. He almost had the same skill level as Stevie G for putting in long balls. He was smart, he was clever. Obviously left Liverpool and moved to Real Madrid and now with Bayern. But he was a proper footballer. He had the knack of playing the right ball at the right time. He was there in Istanbul. He was an integral part of Liverpool winning their 5th one, and he was just a proper quality player. So right in front of those guys, I would have Stevie G. He would be right in the middle of the pitch, dictating, directing the game, as he does and has done for many years. In my time growing up watching Liverpool, he's been Mr. Liverpool, Mr. Reliable. I know he's getting a little bit older, maybe a little bit slower, but his skills haven't diminished. He's just, the role that he plays for Liverpool is so important for what he does. Can you imagine anybody better to step up and take a penalty in all the Liverpool days than Stevie G? You just can't. The man is as a Liverpool supporter, he is Liverpool through and through, and he was my first name that I put down when picking my team, Stevie G. Man's a legend. And the two people just in front of Stevie G would be Kenny Dalglish and Kevin Keegan, because you can't really put them down in a position. You give them a free rein to run around the pitch, and they did that frequently. I mean, they created havoc. They scored goals. They scored quality goals. They scored poachers' goals. They did everything, and they played with a free-flowing style. You never knew where they were going to turn up on the pitch, and they worked really, really hard. And then to see Kenny still his huge involvement with Liverpool Football Club. He's there all the time. He's got Liverpool blood running through his veins, and both of those players were just quality for Liverpool. And two strikers, first one being Ian Rush, 340 odd goals, again 600 appearances. The man could sniff out a goal from anywhere. Maybe the style has changed a little bit of what a striker's more required to do these days, but with the way they played football, he was always there. He was always in the right place at the right time, and that's why he was so good. He's just another proper Liverpool legend in Rush. Last player, I would have to say Robbie Fowler. In his early years, he had so much pace and speed. He could turn a player. He was for the size of him. Robbie's not that big a guy, but for the size of him, he was so strong, and he battled, and he was always there. He was another guy that was seemed to always be in the right position at the right time. You know, he got into the box when he should be in the box. He wasn't afraid to put his foot through a ball whenever he had to. He had no fear, and that's what all the great Liverpool players have. They have no fear. So, you know, that's my team. Unfortunately, I had to leave a few guys out. You know, the likes of Michael Owen, who was a wonderful player. Suarez, for example, you know, another great player, wasn't quite there long enough, in my opinion, to make those ones. John Barnes, Peter Beardsley, all the guys you can hear, you know, they're attacking players. That's the way that I used to see Liverpool. Liverpool, when I was growing up, they played one-touch football. I went from the back to the front and they scored, and they won, and they kept on winning. I think if that team was playing now, I think they'd be doing pretty good.